On March 27, 2020, North Macedonia became the 30th and newest member of the North Atlantic Treaty Organization, an alliance of states in North America and Europe. This caused backlash from Russia, which criticizes the expansion of this alliance eastward. But why is this the case? What does NATO do and what is its significance? Before I begin, I want to shout out to my friend Karsten over at Gaston the Goat. He does amazing videos on football analysis, montages of memorable moments in recent football history, and much more. Basically, if you're interested in anything relating to football, his channel has great content, so I highly recommend you check it out. The origin of the alliance spans all the way back to 1949, 4 years after the end of the Second World War, which left Europe under the joint influence of the major war victors, the United States and the Soviet Union. Despite being allies during the war, the two major powers saw increased tensions as they competed for global dominance of their economic and social conditions under capitalism and socialism, respectively. As a result, 1949 saw the creation of the North Atlantic Treaty Organization, with the United States, United Kingdom, Canada, France, Holland, Belgium, Luxembourg, Iceland, Norway, Denmark, Italy, and Portugal being the founding members. Since its founding, no new members have been added to the alliance that are not located in Europe, due to Article 10 of the treaty. Some say that this rule was somewhat broken with the addition of Turkey in 1952, but it and Greece seceding that year put the alliance in a strategic position in the eastern Mediterranean. With NATO now having control of the Bosphorus Strait, this negatively impacted the Soviet Union's trading abilities. The position is still strategic today, with all the wars in the Middle East being right on Turkey's doorstep. West Germany officially joined the alliance in 1955, which is the same year of the creation of the Warsaw Pact, consisting of the Soviet Union and its satellite states, which were other communist states in Eastern Europe. No wars occurred within Europe between NATO and Warsaw Pact members, but its members fought proxy wars globally. The borders of NATO did not change until the addition of Spain in 1982. However, the Soviet Union's grip on Eastern Europe began waning in the 80s. The reuniting of Germany in 1990 proved the downfall of communism in Europe was true, with the USSR itself dissolving in 1991. The new democracy formed from previous communist states pushed for greater integration with Western Europe to rebuild from the last half-century. Two major enlargements happened within the first 15 years of the fall of the Berlin Wall. In 1999, Poland, Czechia, and Hungary were admitted to the alliance. 5 years later, in 2004, the Baltic states of Estonia, Latvia, and Lithuania joined, along with Slovakia, Romania, Bulgaria, and Slovenia. In recent years, new members have all come from the Balkans. Croatia and Albania joined the alliance in 2009, and Montenegro in 2017. North Macedonia, blocked from joining the alliance for many decades due to the naming dispute with Greece, was finally admitted on March 27th of 2020. With no Soviet Union looming over the states of Eastern Europe in the early 21st century, the purpose of NATO to some seems to have changed, but in reality some of the major reasons for the alliance's creation still apply today. NATO is a treaty of collective defense, meaning that if one member state is attacked, all must come to defend it. And this has held true since the founding of the alliance. The collective defense usually seemed to stem from the defending against the Soviet Union, which was true for the Cold War. After its fall, many Eastern European states still fear reintegration into Russia's sphere of influence. Even including states that haven't joined yet, Eastern European countries see NATO as protection from their eastern neighbor, meaning the alliance still holds its mutual defensive attack from Russia, who has repeatedly condemned the adding of new members to NATO. They claim they are being threatened military and politically by its expansion. When seeing Moscow was once 1,000 miles from NATO, and now the alliance has territory right on its doorstep, it's not hard to see their dissent. With Russia's main partner Belarus, locations in the Baltics, including along the Estonian, Latvian, and Lithuanian borders, as well as the ex-slaves of Kaliningrad, have been highly militarized as of late due to their more aggressive stance on defense. This can also be seen with Russia having a grip on two potential future NATO candidates, Ukraine and Georgia, currently arming rebel nations in both countries. Though these two nations would be potentially good candidates for future expansion, it looks like they might be put on hold until such conflicts can be resolved. The most likely prospect for future expansion looks to be Bosnia and Herzegovina. With no ongoing wars, a somewhat democratic system, and widespread support amongst the general population, the nation seems to be a good candidate to join the alliance in the next decade. However, with the Federation of Bosnia and Herzegovina having 90% support for joining, Republika Srpska, the other political entity within the nation, only holds about a third of people supporting the nation's accession. The North Atlantic Treaty Organization has changed in some ways since its founding, but it still keeps its great influence in the world with 3 nuclear powers and a total of 70% of the global military budget. The alliance's influence remains stronger than ever and will likely grow stronger, with an expected 2% of each country's GDP being allocated to military spending by 2024, and the strategic placement of possible future members. Thanks everyone for watching. Be sure to subscribe and check out my other videos. Also be sure to check out Gas and the Goats channel.